Hi guys, it's Danielle from Wusa Holistic Health Coaching. Back to have another quick conversation with you, an update to let you know how I'm doing with these stored emotions that I was explaining to you yesterday. Apparently have been brewing in my stomach, and for whatever reason they decided this past Sunday to show themselves and to show that I needed to deal with emotions that I apparently had not dealt with. Two of the main ones, as I mentioned before, was suppressed rage and sadness. The reason that I bring that up today is because I had a sensation today that was different than yesterday. And so I wanted to talk about that, because what people don't realize is that the body will reveal to us when it's ready for us to deal with things. We're just like an onion, and we're storing things, trauma, adverse childhood events and experiences that could go back decades upon decades. The body's not going to be able to handle our releasing that kind of trauma all at the same time. So in order to gently release the trauma, to gently kind of detoxify whatever is sort of been a poison to us, we have to listen to our body, and we have to let our body guide our pace. So some of the things that could influence whether or not we're able to handle something would be, suppose something came up maybe yesterday at work and it was extremely stressful. Well, maybe yesterday was affecting you to the point where today your needs for support are more. Maybe you do need vitamin B complex today more so than you needed yesterday because you need extra support on your nervous system. So the same thing is true with we're dealing with our emotions. Depending upon what went on with me yesterday or the day before, that may be why when I tested myself yesterday, my body wasn't ready for me to sort of go anywhere deeper into what is this suppressed rage and sadness about. It just wanted me to be made aware of it at that time. But then today, I got a sensation of pain that let me know I needed to look a little bit closer. For whatever reason, today my body said, you need to do some emotional freedom work. and so, as always, I try to listen to my body when it says what it needs. And so I did do some EFT for that area. I don't remember what number that is on the body map, that area, but it was so sore, and it kind of came on drastically. So I knew that was my body's way of communicating to you, maybe not yesterday, but today we need to get after this, and we need to start quelling and softening and quieting this communication today. So I did do it, and I did test to see how much I needed, because I don't want to overdo it either. So I wanted to put that out to you, that please know that when you're doing any kind of holistic modality or technique, just because you needed something last week to help deal with an issue doesn't mean that that's what you need to do this week. I've got clients that I'm working with, and they have different time periods in their life where there was an adverse childhood event or experience, and we're not allowed to touch it yet. But then on the other hand, I've got clients where we were not allowed to touch it 3 months ago, but then maybe 30 to 60 days later, the body said, I'm ready to go into it now. And then that way we could start to address it and release it from the client's body, and so that they can start feeling better. So I just wanted to kind of give you a bit of an update that just because our body may not want to do EFT tapping, the emotional freedom technique one time, doesn't mean the next time we may not need that extra support. And today I did in fact need it. I did go out to run a couple brief errands right near the house, because I don't want to be out long. I am still quite sore. What I will say is that after acknowledging what was going on with me, with what I talked about yesterday, with the suppressed rage, the sadness, the needing to let go of control of outcomes instead of having expectations and having my emotions tied to expectations. Once I recognized that, the pain, even last night, was starting to quell. Now, is it like really, really a lot different? No. Did I see the cyst-looking things coming down? Yes. I also noticed that they're getting softer. They're not as hard, which is telling me that they are dissolving from the inside, and they aren't as swollen. So there is some progress, and it hasn't even been 24 hours since we talked about this. So why am I telling you this? Because it may sound ridiculous that you can remove a cyst without surgery or some kind of drastic intervention. And it's just not true. And since I have a history, I remember when my daughter was about 6 or 7, she was being bullied at school. She didn't want to talk about it, and she ended up developing a nasty cyst on her leg. And I took her to a kinesiologist. I wasn't doing the work at that time. And we were able to dissolve it. Now, what I do wish is that I could remember how long it took. What I do remember is what we used. I told you I was doing the castor oil pack mixed with tea tree, like medical grade tea tree oil, and then using that in combination with heat. But for her, we just needed to soak pads in an oil blend by Young Living called ImmuPower. So I actually thought I was going to need the same thing, but I didn't. For me, it was tea tree. For her, it was ImmuPower, and it dissolved within a pretty short time. And of course, they wanted to do surgery on her right away, but she was in like 1st or 2nd grade. I didn't want my little girl going under the knife. And I would have done it as a last resort, but as it turned out, we didn't need to, and it never came back. So that's what I'm hoping is going to happen this time, is that once we get these dissolved, they're never going to come back. And that I will know that I have rooted out those negative, undigested emotions that needed to be digested and removed from my body. So again, I hope that this information helps you, and I hope that this update makes sense. I will get back to you again to see what improvements I notice by tomorrow, if any. Slight or drastic, I will share it all. And hopefully before long, I will be able to come back to you and say, guess what, guys? It's all gone. The issue is no longer here, and I've been able to work through all of these negative emotions. So just like I said, my first client is me. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to give you the real. I'm going to give you the raw. Sometimes I have body malfunctions. Not very often, but when they do happen, like I said, they do tend to be drastic. So I hope that you appreciate that I'm putting all my business in the street like this, and it does end up helping somebody, even if it's not you, someone that you know that may they may be searching for a holistic way of handling their health. By the way, I don't usually talk about it, but if you do want more information on my one-on-one coaching programs, or if you want access to some of the free content that I do have on my website, you feel free to go to woosacoaching.com. And I can also receive messages from there if you ever want a free call from me where I can discuss my work in more detail. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content on my channel, I would really appreciate a like. I would appreciate if you would share my content and my channel with others. Please subscribe, and I really do appreciate you guys all showing up for me. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good night, and don't forget to woosah. Bye.